Hi guys, I'm Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship Heavyweight Fighter Mark Godbeer, and you're watching Cage Side with Christopher James.
What happens if you lose, Nick?
Who the hell is Aquaman?
I get Fruity Pebbles, Cocoa Pebbles, I get Sausage Biscuit. Maybe you guys will see a little footage of that later on because we got some good stuff.
Philip produces. There you go, baby.
Hey, boys and girls, good evening and welcome to Cage Side with Christopher James. I'm Christopher James, man. Happy to be with you tonight. Terrific Tuesday. Back-to-back shows this week. Excusez-moi. Last night I had a show. I had Britton Hart, Daniel Riveron, and Cody Durden. Tonight we have Devin Cushing, undefeated professional boxer. And we have the man who stole the show at UFC Fight Night, or UFC Vegas 59, Geoff, Handz of Steel, Neal. That's right, man. So we have a big show for you tonight, man. I put up a post on my page earlier. While I'm going to talk about this real quick while I'm sharing out the video. I put up a post on my page earlier. What would you guys think about Valentina Shevchenko, the reigning defending flyweight champion of the world, and Thug Rose Namajunas fighting inside the octagon for Valentina Shevchenko's championship? We saw Joanna move up to 125. She wasn't successful. Thug Rose could definitely move up to 125. Could she be successful? I don't know. But, I mean, the biggest test you can get, of course, is, putting her inside a big fight and see what she could do. I mean, I think she's earned the right to fight for, well, I shouldn't say she's earned the right to fight for the title, but she's a former champion. I would like to see her step up and, maybe get one fight and then move into the title fight if she wins. But you just don't know how this is all going to work out. So, you have to sit there and hope that, maybe the UFC do this because they're running out of competitors for Valentina Shevchenko to take on, at flyweight. People are talking about her going on to fighting, Amanda Nunes again. But we've seen that fight twice, and Amanda's won both of them. I don't care what anybody says. Amanda won both those fights. So you just have to, suck it up, buttercup, and move on with it because, Amanda is that girl. So, chime in with your thoughts here on the comments, and we'll try to address them sometime during the show in between interviews. I love the matchup. I think it'd be really dope, but that's just me. So, with that being said, that's the question of the day. Valentina versus Rose. Who you got? Who wins it? Leave your comments inside the comment thread. Oh, thanks, Forrest. I like this shirt as well, too. Now, in the background, in my green room, sitting there waiting patiently to jump in with us tonight, I've watched this guy develop as a boxer since 2016. He came in to Island Fights. He's from Pensacola. He trains at Roy Jones Sr. Boxing, not Roy Jones Jr. There is a difference between Roy Jones Jr. and Roy Jones Sr. And I've watched this kid not just grow into being a solid professional athlete, but a solid man. He's got himself a beautiful lady. He's got himself a beautiful little girl named Hazel. She's so god doggone cute. It makes me freak out. And he has a successful breeding business. He breeds French pit bulls or French bulldogs. I said pit bulls because I'm an idiot. But we're going to bring him in right now. He's fighting August 20th at Game Bred Boxing 2 in Biloxi, Mississippi. I know because I will be there ring announcing the event. Matter of fact, Devin and I told Dean Toole, who's co-hosting this event, that Devin wasn't going to fight unless I ring announced. Of course, we were kidding, but Devin loves me and I love him, and we're going to bring him in right now. So, boys and girls, do me a favor. I know I can't hear you, but make some noise out there wherever you're watching and say hello to my friend Devin Cushing.
Chris, my dude.
What's up, dude?
You hear me, man?
I can hear you. Can you
All
hear
right,
me?
cool. It said I needed some earbuds and stuff, so I was just making sure.
I can hear you. I mean, the earbuds work better.
I don't have a good set of earbuds, so
That's okay. As
I'm
long
earbudless right now.
earbudless. As long as we don't talk at the same time, we'll be good. So that's usually the big problem. So first of all, my man DC,
What's going on, man?
what's up, baby boy? How you doing today, man?
Man, I'm doing good. Just relaxing. I'm about to get ready to go to the gym. Finishing off camp. I've done probably about almost 40 rounds of sparring. I'm finishing up sparring today, so looking good, man. Just getting ready for not this Saturday, the following Saturday.
That's right, man.
The
So
20th.
you're 10-0
Yes, sir.
as a professional boxer, 8 finishes, 2 decisions. Before we get into this fight that's coming up, let's give everybody a little background on you. What made you decide that professional boxing was going to be the path you chose rather than anything else in life? And while you're doing that, I'm doing this.
Okay. To be honest with you, man, I've been doing this my whole life. I played football, I played baseball. I've been boxing since I was 8 years old. It's just something I love to do. I love how it's an individual sport. It's all on you. You know what I mean? It's you putting in the work, and it's whatever work you put in, it's what you get out. You know what I'm saying? It's not a team. It's an individual sport, and I don't know, man. I just love fighting. It's just something I love to do. I've always loved to do it. I like to think I'm good at it.
No, you're good. I mean, you're 10-0, you're undefeated.
Yep.
And you said something that really hits home with me, that it is an individual sport.
Yeah, it's different. It's different when it's an individual sport. It's very different. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's very demanding on the body, on the mind. You don't have teammates to pick up your slack or anything. You know what I mean? It's all on you again.
Well, it's funny that you say that there's no teammates, because one of the big things, in the world of mixed martial arts, as you know, because you stick around with island fights and you've seen it all, so you know what's going on. But in MMA, guys refer to it as a team sport because you train with so many guys that help you get ready for a fight. But at the end of the day, I've always believed that you walk into the ring or the cage alone and you walk out, even with your teammates next to you, you still walk out alone. You're the one that takes the L. The team doesn't take the L. So to me, boxing, like MMA, is an individual sport. You may have guys that you train with, and I guess you can call them teammates if you want to,
Yes.
because they are helping you. But it's still an individual sport, just like golf. Golf is an individual sport. Tennis is an individual sport unless you're playing doubles.
Yeah.
Bowling is an individual sport.
Yes.
Boxing, MMA, individual sports. So I like your outlook on that, because at the end of the day, that's what it is. When the lights go out, and you haven't experienced loss yet in boxing, but when the lights go out, win or lose, you sit in that room in the dark by yourself. And you have to deal with the mental anguish that goes along with, losing and, even winning. There's mental anguish with winning too, because the pressure ramps up every time you win, right?
Every time.
So
every time people expect more, the fans expect more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a lot of pressure. Again, it's a lot of pressure on the individual. You know what I mean? It's not the whole team taking all the pressure, and you know what I'm saying? It's very demanding, man. It's a very demanding and rough sport.
So one of my viewers wants to know right now, because he's looking at you on the screen, and he's digging that gold chain you got around your neck. And I don't even know the answer to this question, which I'm surprised I don't, but I don't. Have you done Golden Gloves? And if you did you win Golden Gloves and that's why you wear the gold chain? Or is it just because you love boxing so much you got a gold boxing glove?
Yeah, it's just something I wear, man, all the time. I've won the Golden Gloves a few times. But yeah, it's just something I wear, man. Just my father gifted this to me when I was younger, so it's just something I wear, man.
Good old Woody.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, good old Woody. I love Woody. I love your dad, man. I love your whole family, man. Good people, your little brother. It was really cool to see you a couple months back in Biloxi.
Yes.
I got to announce you at Gamebred Boxing 1.
After 5 years.
Yeah, it's been a minute, but it was cool to see you in a different role. It was cool to see you being, I know you're not officially married, but you married. But you married and you a dad now, dude, and it was such a different vibe that I got off you, dude.
Yes.
How has that affected your life and your boxing?
Man, this changed me, man. I always grew up. My mom's sister has 2 girls. My mom had me and my brother. You know what I mean? It was always me, my brother, and my dad. And my mom, we ain't really have too many girls around the house. So my daughter has changed me and my whole family, for the better. You know what I mean? We needed a little girl around the house, you know what I'm saying? She's adorable, man. She's my life. If it ain't boxing or the dogs, it's Hazel Grace, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, man, she's changed my life. It's different. I've never had a feeling like it.
It's a good feeling, man, and it looks good on you, man. You're
Yeah.
wearing it well, and
It's matured me a lot. You know what I mean?
you have to.
It's made me look at a lot of things different too. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So
So, I mentioned in the opening before I brought you on the screen that you train with Roy Jones Senior Boxing, the Roy Jones Junior Boxing. Those folks, the folks that know boxing, know that there's a separation, a rift between senior and junior.
yep.
They don't talk, they don't interact with each other. I know you a long time now. I know you have nothing but respect for Roy Jones Jr. and what he's accomplished, and he's somebody you look up to as a boxer.
Yes, sir.
But do you ever get caught up in that feud between these guys, or do you just go in there and handle business as usual and try to stay away from their family squabble?
Yeah, man. It's always talked about. It's always brought up. You know what I mean? Especially me training with Roy, Big Roy. I don't try to get in too much of their business. I try to stay out of it. And I just try to focus on me and Devin and what Devin has to do. You know what I mean? Um, at the end of the day, I love Big Roy. I respect what Lil Roy has done for the sport of boxing. Um, but like I said again, I don't get in their business. I just do Devin, and I try to. Yeah, I don't get in their business, man, at all.
Probably the best way to be. It's like
Yeah,
getting involved in, like, when you see your friend and their girlfriend arguing and you try to get in
yeah,
the middle.
same thing. Yeah,
Ain't productive at all.
that's family business. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So I don't try to get in none of that, and I just try to stay to myself, man. I just try to stay focused on my craft. I try to stay focused on Devin. I got enough going on, man.
you certainly do. And I like how you refer to him as Big Roy and Little Roy. The people that are inside those camps and they know the Jones family, that's how they talk about him. I refer to him as senior and junior because I don't know them the same way you do, even though
Yep.
I've announced Roy and I've worked for Roy with Island Fights. I've met Roy Senior. I love both guys. My heart hurts that they have this rift between them because it sucks seeing family being separated from each other over, and who knows what the feud is actually really over. And I'm not even going to try to dig into it because it's not my business. It's just,
Yeah.
it hurts my heart because it hurts the sport a little bit, I think, when that happens. So it sucks,
Yes.
but it is what it is. And we are where we are. And I'm
Yeah.
glad you stay out of the middle. That you're like, you go over here, you
Yeah.
over here,
I
me
try.
down the middle.
Yep. Yep.
That's the way to do it.
I just
Put
try
your
to.
hands
I
up.
try to stay focused, man. You know what I mean? My dad always tells me, man, worry about yourself. Worry
Yeah,
about
man.
yourself.
So, also, you took some time away from the sport. Let me pull this up here. Um, your last bout was obviously early this year in May, but before that, you hadn't fought since 2018. So we're looking at almost a full 4-year absence.
Yep.
So, and you were on a roll. I mean, you were 9-0. You were ready to take over the world. What happened, Devin? Why did we see you disappear? And kind of, you didn't disappear with any fanfare. You didn't disappear with any noise. You just kind of went like this.
Yep. Again, I had the kid. That was a little time away. That took me a little time to handle all that, and I had to. We lost our gym. We didn't have a stable gym for a few months. We actually moved gyms 2-3 times. I actually didn't have a stable gym until me and my father built one. We just got the building up probably. I say we've been in a new building probably about 6 months. The new gym about 6 months. Again, man, I didn't have a stable gym for probably 2 years, 2-3 years. I had the kid. Just a lot, man. It's a lot. It's a lot to talk about. I just didn't have a stable place to train at all and fully prepare me for a professional fight. You know what I mean?
Right.
And we jumped from gym to gym. One of our buddies' leases was up at a spot we were at. So we moved to another spot. And then when we moved to that spot and finally moved that for that third time, we obviously had to wait for the new gym to be built, permits to be pulled, et cetera, et cetera. And here we are, man, back to rolling.
You got your own building now, so you're not going to be worried about its place to train. Your coaches can come and hook you up, and it's your building, right?
Ours, me and my father's, yes, sir.
So you can train 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, whenever you want.
Yep.
And do you have other people coming in to train there regularly, or is it just kind of your camp that's running in that gym?
Yeah, we've actually just like this past week, we've had Smoke Gainer bring some boys in to spar, get some work, get me ready for the fight. Shout out to Smoke. We had people come in and spar, man. People come through there, train all the time, and some make it, some don't. You know how it is,
Yeah, I know how it is.
So,
you are it's so funny, and I always get so confused with the boxing weight classes versus the MMA weight classes. But you are listed, let me see here, as a super lightweight, which is what, 137?
135.
135.
Yes, sir.
So in MMA, that's a bantamweight, and it confuses the shit out of me, man. I got to remember that for these boxing matches this weekend or next weekend when we get up there, because I ask commissioners, and sometimes the commissioners don't even know the damn right boxing weight classes. Huh?
I said you'll mess up and say bantamweight, huh?
Well, no, I won't mess up and say bantamweight. If I'm not sure, I just don't even mention the weight class. I just mention the weights because I don't want to say it wrong. I'd rather omit something than say something wrong, During your time away, and the weight class question just popped up in my head for a minute, but during your time away, was there ever a thought in your head that, maybe you were done with boxing?
Yeah. Yes. Just the time away, just the long layoff, you know what I mean? Not having a place to train, it taking so long, after 3-4 years, after 2 or 3 years, being so busy, and just going flat like that. Yeah, definitely. For sure. 100%.
Yeah. I was worried that we weren't going to see you again, and then I started hearing rumors and rumblings, and Dean Tools tell me, goes, Devin's coming back, and I'm like, fuck yeah, because it would have been sad not to see you live up to the potential, and the potential's there.
Oh yeah, I definitely couldn't let it go, man. It's something I've done my whole life. It's all I know. I can't walk away. I'd be stupid if I walked away at 9-0. You know what I mean?
I can't kick your ass, but I'd kick your ass if you walked away.
You know what I mean? I'd want to kick my own self's ass. I'd regret that every day, and I can't. I don't want to live with no regrets, man. I want to get the job finished. You know what I mean?
No, I know exactly what you mean.
And at the end of the day, man, I'm not a quitter. Winners quit. Winners never quit, and quitters never win, man. And whatever I start, I finish. Anything. It don't matter what it is.
I know that about you, like with your dog business, you breed dogs, you breed
that gets tough too, man. It's a lot, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But again, I've started that. I'm not a quitter, man,
Yeah. No,
if I quit, I'll never win.
That's right. You never win. It's funny too, because I've seen a couple of videos you posted up where you're trying to get the dogs to like lock in and get their freak on so you can get them puppies going. Yeah. What's that like, trying to get them to, get their screw on?
It's not as hard as you think, man. It's just
It looked pretty difficult in the video. You and that lady, man, and you were trying to get those dogs.
Well, the lady's just pulling them, basically, you know, pulling the semen, and then you basically do a artificial insemination. It's called an AI,
Right.
And then, you know, you put the semen in the tube, and then you put the tube down the female and stick it in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's you know, it's taking all the fun out of, you know, making the babies for the dogs. You know, the dog's like, man, I got to get
These
knocked
dogs-
up. I'm getting knocked up, and I'm not even getting no
These dogs
booty
I
call.
breed, and people ask me too, like dogs usually breed like natural. You know what I mean?
Right.
People have asked me, why don't you let them breed natural? I breed French bulldogs and I breed micro bullies. They're both too small to breed naturally. You know what I mean? So you have to do the artificial inseminations. If I let them lock up, they could die. They could, you know, they're too small to lock up. You know what I mean? They're too small to lock up. They're too small. They're too small to breed naturally. The breeds are too small.
Yeah, I see. I learned something today that I had no idea. You know, because I thought to myself too, why didn't you just let them, you know, naturally go, hey girl, what's up, girl? You want to go to the club? Let's get our freak on. You know, I got milk bone, bitch. I got fresh pet, girl. I got that real food, you know.
When a female comes over here in heat, man, that's how Hefe acts.
Yeah, he gets all hyped up.
He smells it.
He's like, he looks over at the girl. He's like, woof.
Oh yeah.
All right, so you have a fight coming up on August 20th in Biloxi, Mississippi, and I'm sorry,
at the Biloxi Civic Center.
At the Biloxi Civic Center. I don't know where we're going to broadcast this show yet. I don't know if it's going to be on Fight, or I know it's not on Fight Pass, or maybe it is on Fight Pass, but nobody's told me yet. So it will be streaming somewhere.
I thought it was Fight Pass.
It might be Fight Pass. It will be streaming somewhere. There's no doubt. And when we get the streaming information, guys, before the show starts, we will definitely let you know if you can't be there. Yeah, and you know, it's funny. Somebody here was commenting on taking a break. And I'm going to put his thing up on the screen. It says, sometimes it's good to take a break, build a new hunger for your craft. He goes, Masvidal took a break, came back a year later, and now he's a superstar. You know, you know, and you could experience that too. Although at 10-0, you know, this is the thing I hate about boxing, Devin. It's the one thing I really hate, because I grew up watching boxing and I always loved the sport. But as I got involved in working in the sport and understanding more of the politics, you know, you're 10-0. And typically 10-0 doesn't really mean a lot in the world of professional boxing, does it?
Does not.
It does not. I mean, you know, people aren't going to start talking about you till you're like 20-0.
20-0. 10-0 in UFC.
10-0 in the regionals, you're getting a contract with the UFC.
Mm-hmm.
You're fighting on the biggest promotion, you know, or, you know, one of them, Bellator, UFC, ONE FC, you know, PFL. I think we just said that, you know, work, you know, so you could be 10-0, get a shot in the PFL, and a year later, you can have $1 million in your pocket being, you know, 13-0. And here you are, it's 10-0 boxer taking dudes out with 8 knockouts, and you're not even a blip on the radar at this point. Does that suck for you? Does that like fucking hit you in the feelings a little bit?
Yeah, it just, you know, again, you just coming up the rough side of the mountain, you know what I mean? Whatever's got to be done, it's got to be done, you know? It's definitely hard, you know?
Yeah, I wouldn't want to do it because, like I said, because I've seen, you know, guys like Mike Perry who were 6-0 or 7-0 get, you know, UFC, and he's on the main card of a Conor McGregor card, you know. In his first UFC appearance, he gets a big knockout. His star just blows up. Yep. You know, you can have 4 or 5 more big knockouts along the way to 20. And, you know, the true boxing aficionados, the ones that really invest all their time. I mean, I would consider myself right now at this point of boxing, even though I work in the sport, a casual plus. You know, I don't watch as much as I watch MMA. MMA is my real love. But I do watch a lot more boxing than I used to. and I have a different outlook on it because I work, as a boxing announcer sometimes. So, but nobody going to know about you till you're 20-0. And I think, that's got to be, other than the long hours and the rounds that you have to put in, I think that's got to be the most frustrating thing for a boxer where, you're like, fuck, dude, I'm 16-0. I just saw this cat who's 7-0. He fight twice in the UFC, and I'm fighting on, regional cards for mid-level regional titles and not making that money yet,
For sure.
So, mentally speaking, I think, the boxer has to be of the toughest mindset as far as an individual sport goes. I'm not saying that MMA fighters don't have to be of that tough mindset as well, but because their path to stardom can get started earlier.
Yes.
I think it's just a little less stressful on the MMA guy versus the boxer.
You're right, Chris. For sure.
How do you deal with that, man?
Just you just got to keep your head down, man. Your nose down, your head down, man. Just keep trucking. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So good performances. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what it is. You lose, you go backwards. You know what I'm saying? You can't lose in boxing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you can't lose in boxing, and you're 25, 26 now.
25.
So you're almost hitting that spot in boxing where you could age out it with a loss.
Yep, for sure.
That would suck balls.
For sure.
So, tell us about your fight on August 20th. Who you got, and what can we expect to see? Are we going to see anything different? My favorite thing about watching you fight is the way you pop your jab with such crispness, and you understand that the jab. Everybody can have big power, but watching young guys like yourself understand that the jab sets everything up, and really implementing that every time they step into the ring is what impresses me the most about watching you fight. And even from when I first saw you fight to your last fight in May, the evolution of your jab and your combo work and your feet were things I really noticed. I was like, he's moving different. He's got his hands different. He's still peppering that jab out. But now with the follow that he's bringing on the two, it's like, oh, look at that shit. What?
Yeah, I'm fighting this guy from Argentina. I'm familiar with him too much. I ain't done my research on him too much. I just been, just putting in the hard work. I plan on just, coming in there, man, and having a good performance. I don't really have too much of a game plan. I never have a game plan. You never know when you're gonna have to adapt in the middle of a fight. You know what I mean? So I just come in there. I plan on just being Devin and just going in there and doing my thing. The jab's gonna get to work, Chris.
Yeah. Oh, I know the jab's gonna get to work, man.
It's gonna get to work, man. We're just gonna go in there and do our thing, man, and stay patient and get the job done, man, and get the dub.
So at this point, being 10-0, is it now, the first 10 fights, and I know you're not looking for the knockouts. You're trying to get rounds because rounds are important in boxing. And they look at that, if you have, 15, I guess rounds aren't as important if you're 15-0 and you knocked out everybody in the first round, that will also get you a little pop. But the rounds are what you guys look for. You don't just, because you put on all the sparring time, you can't go full strength in sparring, against your opponents. I mean, you go some. I don't think you give it all because, you ain't fighting for money at that point. But when you step in the ring in a professional fight, now you have to go to work and put in rounds. Are you at the point now where the rounds are just as important, or is it now important to really go out there and get finishes and try to, get yourself up to 20 fights as fast as possible? And who knows, maybe, bigger level competition, because at some point, it's got to happen. So are you ready to put down the rounds and get the finishes, or is it still about acquiring rounds?
Yeah, I mean both, man. I don't go in there. I don't go into a fight and look for knockouts. I don't go into a fight and looking for a decision or anything like that. You know what I mean? A win's a win. Just like in a basketball game, it don't matter if you win by half a point or a point. A dub's a dub. You know what I mean? It don't matter. You know what I mean? A win is a win. You know, you don't halfway win, you don't halfway lose. You lose or you win. You know what I mean? So I'm not I don't go in there looking for knockouts, man. I don't go in there with no game plan. I'm not going in there saying this is gonna go 6-8 rounds. Again, I go in there focused on what I gotta do. I stay focused on me at all times, and I do what I want to do in there when I want to do it. And that's just how I keep it, man. That's how I've always kept it.
Yeah, I've never seen you headhunting. I've never seen you try. I mean,
No.
yeah, you know, it's funny, dude, because watching your fights over the years, you know, there's been some fights where I've watched you and, you know, I'm watching you and you're peppering out the jab, dropping a 2, maybe a 3 right behind it just for shits and giggles, and you're having a good time. And I watch and I go, man, I think my dude Devin could just knock this kid out. What the fuck is he waiting for? Do you see those sometimes and you continue to just work rather than, you know, finish the guy because, again, you know, getting rounds for you is important?
Yeah, man. It like I said, it's not. I don't headhunt or try to look for the knockout or anything. I just work, man. You know what I mean? Whatever comes. You know. I just go with the flow. You know.
Yep. Here's a message on the screen. Look at this one because it's not a word. It's a emoji thing, and this is from our man Dean Toole.
What's up, blood?
Here's Levi Fountain. He said, "Family."
Levi, what it do, bro?
Yeah, what it do?
I gotta get them boys a shout out, man. They work so hard, and without them, man, there wouldn't be no platform for none of us. You know what I mean? So,
amen to that. I wouldn't be working.
Yes, sir.
You know. So, question from the crowd: do you have a favorite boxing movie?
Mm-hmm. I like my favorite one is Cinderella Man.
That's an awesome fucking movie.
Favorite one, man.
I'm so glad you didn't say Rocky.
Yeah, I love the Rocky movies.
Rocky movies are good.
Yeah,
Rocky movies are good, no doubt.
That's Cinderella Man, that's a good movie.
Hits you right in the feels, dude. It's got the Rocky movie. The first Rocky movie hits you in the feelings. Yep. Really good.
Yes.
I mean, it won an Oscar.
Yes.
The second Rocky movie also good, but then after that, it just became how much money can we make off the Rocky franchise? You know.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, you know, if you're an all-American dude, you still watch the Rocky movies, you're like, Rocco, fucking Rocco. Even in Rocky 6, you're like, Rocky. We all do it, man. But as far as beyond superb quality boxing movie, I'm so glad you said Cinderella Man.
That's a good
if you haven't seen it, guys, go fucking look that shit up. I don't know what streaming service it's on, but go look it up and watch that movie. That's Devin Cushing's favorite boxing movie, and you should watch it because Devin tells you it's good.
Yep.
All right, D. So we got you fighting. Oh, wait, hold on. Dean's watching. Dean, since you are watching, do we know where we're going to be streaming the Gamebred Boxing 2 from Biloxi, Mississippi at the Biloxi Civic Center? Or is it we're at the Community Center or the Civic Center? Don't forget you can get your tickets at GamebredTickets.com. They are on sale right now. Let's sell the house out as we watch the evolution of Devin Cushing making his way to the big time of professional boxing, because this kid is the future. You know, let me ask you this while I'm waiting for my next guest to pop in. Wait, which shirt, Nick Pinto? His shirt or my shirt? Because Nick Pinto out here go, that shirt, fire. Is it my shirt? It's probably your shirt, man. It ain't my shirt.
Talking about my Dennis Rodman shirt.
Oh, no, dude, that shirt is fire. I couldn't see what it was, man.
Like that a dope Dennis Rodman shirt, huh?
Okay, and Nick said both shirts. He just trying to be politically correct. For you guys that want to watch the fights, you can also watch the fights live on GamebredTickets.com/live. That's GamebredTickets.com/live. You can get your tickets at GamebredTickets.com. It's August 20th, Biloxi, and we are going to party our ass off. Now, Devin, you know, it's funny because I just realized a minute ago, this is your first time on my show.
Yes, sir.
So, first time on the show, I ask everybody to do something a little silly, a little fun, take them out of their comfort zone. You ready?
No, I'm not ready.
but you can't say no either, because I've had 330, this is episode 331. I've had like 350 guests, maybe more. My guest down in the screen, Geoff Neal, is watching because he knows I did it to him too. He's a big UFC star. So he's laughing right now. So you can't even like punk out on this dude. Damn, but you got to sing something for us, man. It doesn't have to be a whole song. Just got to be a little something, something just to wet our whistle. You can freestyle rap if you want to.
Ask, is Dean Tool still in here?
Dean Tool is still in here.
What's
Why,
he
you
want-
got to sing some Boys to Men?
Yeah, ask him what's he want me to sing. What's a request?
Dean, Devin wants to know. He's taking requests right now. And guys, we are watching Cage Side with Christopher James. We're talking with undefeated boxer Devin Cushing. I've got UFC superstar Geoff Neal, Handz of Steel, in the green room waiting. He'll be with us in just a minute. I don't know if Dean's going to pop in with a request, but if he does, that's cool. If he doesn't, though, you got to have something ready. Sing us something you know Dean love.
Let me think, man. Damn.
Do you sing to your little girl?
Yeah, here and now and then, man. Here and now and then. You put me on the spot, Chris, every time.
Dude, you're not the only one, man. I do it to everybody.
Oh, man. I'm trying to think of something I could remember a good lyric of.
There people are requesting you sing Baby Shark.
Baby. Shark do.
Baby Shark, come on, do it, man.
And that's all I'm gonna give you, man.
No, you got to give me a Baby Shark, do, Baby Shark. You got to give it to me twice. Give me the whole line twice, and then I'll let you get out of here.
Nah, man, come on, Chris.
You got to do it, man. You'll be the first guy not to do it on the show, dude. You can't go out like that, bro.
Yeah. Baby shark do, baby shark do.
There we go, bro. That's what I'm talking about. Well, listen, boys and girls, if this is the first time you're meeting him, he is Devin Cushing. He is absolutely awesome. He's undefeated at 10-0, looking to go 11-0 at Gamebred Fighting 2 or Gamebred Boxing 2 in Biloxi, Mississippi, August 20th. That is not this weekend; it's the following weekend. The night before that, we have Jorge Masvidal's Icon FC. I believe it's number 6. Let's put that banner up there so you guys can keep up. There's Devin Cushing chatting with us. So I'll leave those on there. You can get tickets at GamebredTickets.com. And you can watch the fights on Saturday, August 20th at GamebredTickets.com/live. Devin, anybody you want to shout out before you go?
Man, shout out my dad, Mr. Major. I appreciate y'all putting in the work for me, man. And, with me, Dean Tool, Levi, Nick, Ian, AC, the whole Island Fights and Gamebred team. Just giving us a platform to, perform and showcase our skills, man.
I'm glad and honored that you requested me to be your announcer for this, dude. Fucking, that was pretty cool, man. It makes me feel warm, all in the feelings and shit. Well, listen, you enjoy the rest of your night. I know you said you got to go train, so it's 6:30. So I know you got to head on out. So you enjoy the night, man. Have some great training, man. Get those last rounds in tonight, and I will see you in 2 weeks. Well, a week and a half. Up in Biloxi. Boys and girls, that's Devin Cushing. Follow him on Facebook at Devin Cushing. What's the name of the breeding company?
Knockout_Kennels, man.
Knockout_Kennels. If you're looking for a little Frenchie, and he makes some pretty Frenchies, man. And he told you it's all artificial insemination. So he knows what's going on. He's building them puppies out. So if you need one, get with him. Mention my name and you'll still get no discount. But hey, just mention my name anyway. Devin, be well, man. God bless you and the family, and we'll talk soon.
God bless.
All right, boys and girls, that's my man Devin Cushing. Don't forget we got the Contender Series coming up in 25 minutes. Bo Nickel about to do work. 1-0 as a professional fighter. He's only had a couple of amateur fights. He's a 3-time NCAA champion in wrestling. Probably one of the most highly talented prospects to step into the Contender Series in a long time. And I'll tell you, the Contender Series continues to produce killers. The man we are bringing on came into our lives via the Contender Series, and we're so happy he did. He's come into the UFC, he's gotten some wins. He's taken a couple of L's. It's the UFC, man. Sometimes you're going to take an L. His hair is now on fire. He's got a new do. He's pimping out. It's looking good. It's like a mini Violent Bob Ross hairdo going on right now. Like he's slowly growing his out. I'm going to see it get bigger and bigger and bigger. I can't wait. just like his hair's getting bigger, his star is shining brighter. He got the biggest moment, in my opinion, at UFC Vegas 59 this last weekend, where he took out Vicente Luque, something nobody else has been able to do. And he did it because he's got them hands of steel, boys and girls. Let's welcome him in right now, the one and only, the incomparable Mr. Geoff Neal.
What up, man? How you doing?
I'm good, bro. First of all, man, I wasn't even bullshitting about the hair. I love that you're letting it grow out and get its thing going on, dude. It looked fly. When I saw your fight with guys, like, look at my motherfucker all there. Just, yeah.
I like it. It's rough, but I'm a fighter. You know what I mean? I like that rough look. You know what I mean?
Gotta have that rough look, man, because you had that clean cut look for such a long time, and was that partially because before you like went full-time fighting, like you were done with work because you were a server at one point, if I remember correctly? So did you try to keep that clean cut look for that kind of industry? You know, you didn't want anybody to go, look at my server with his hair all ratty, or was it just the way you were raised?
I just never knew what to do with long hair. You know what I mean? And I still don't know what to do with this shit. It's just wild. And I'm actually still serving. I'm at Moxie's. Yeah, I worked like 2 weeks before my last fight, you know, but
damn,
I go into work like this. They don't say shit. So,
well, I mean, you are Geoff Neal. What are they going to say? You know, Geoff, your hair, and you just got to go, what'd you say?
Yeah.
And they just leave you to be, man. So first of all, man, been a minute since we talked to you. So what's been going on in life outside of fighting for you, man? How's that been going?
I took some time off. I just been just relaxing and reassessing. Like, you know, I had that health scare. I know we talked right after that, didn't we?
Yep, we did.
Yeah. And just been doing stuff because I didn't take the proper amount of time to really assess what was going on. And I actually looked up sepsis and septic shock, and like I didn't give it enough credit myself. You know what I mean?
Right.
Just like I went through it, and like, you know, when you go through traumatic experiences, you kind of like push it in the back of your mind. I just didn't like really just realize like, yo, you really almost died, and that did play a factor in your health and your well-being, you know. So I had to realize that, and I feel like I was back to where I was before I got sepsis, like how I was in my Mike Perry fight.
Yeah, that was an awesome ride. And here's a comment from Dean Toole. He's our matchmaker. He worked with so many guys. He's put a lot of guys in the UFC, and he said you looked unbeatable on Saturday night. That straight left hand was fire. Congrats on the big win. I got to tell you, man, you know, I wasn't going to get into the fight yet, and we'll go back to some of this other stuff. But since Dean brought it up, your boxing on Saturday night, dude, was so fucking crisp. It was so fresh. Your footwork was on fire. Luque really had no answer. It looked like he was. And I hate to say this because it's going to come across as disrespectful, and I guess it probably is in a way, but he really just looked like he was completely outclassed, like he didn't belong in there with you. And I'm not saying that to swell up your head. I'm just saying that you're a different fighter than the last time I saw you. And even though you got a win in your last fight before that, this was different, dude. This was fucking, like, to me, this was almost the potential fulfilling prophecy of what we expected when you first jumped into the UFC, and like, holy shit, man.
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate it. Like, fighting Luque was like it was a dangerous fight. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't feel too much danger when I fought Ponzinibbio, when I fought Neil Magny. Wonderboy was like right after sepsis, so I was just like, and it was like you know what I mean? Like, I kind of had to do that fight, you know? Yep. I felt like I did, you know, but this fight is Vicente Luque. He's like knocking everybody out, like 14-3, 13 finishes. You know what I mean? I think it brought the best out of me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You look, like I said, you looked incredible, man. I mean, was that the game plan? Did you expect it to go? I mean, and it's, you know, when I'm saying the words right now, it's such a dumb question. And we all work in the media and we all ask, did you expect it to go that way? And of course, you probably do expect it to go that way because you have to have that confidence going in. But in reality, did you really expect it to be as, I don't know, it was almost like it was easy for you. Like, it was really crazy.
I did not. And actually, the game plan was to take him down.
Like, you did a phenomenal job of that.
The whole camp we working takedowns, but a couple like minutes into the first round when I felt his power and I felt his speed, I was like, my footwork's throwing him off. like I have the beat on him. You know what I mean? I'm seeing all his punches, and it's like, why not just box him the hell up? You know, it was easy, honestly, to be real. Like,
and you know, I know you don't want to be an asshole and be overconfident or over cocky when you talk about an opponent, because I know you're one of those guys that respects your opponents. You know, even if you don't like how they behave, you still respect them because they got the balls to walk in there and take a fight with another human being. But it was easy, dude. It looked as easy as you're saying it was, and which is crazy because at that level, it shouldn't look that easy.
yeah,
It just shouldn't. You know, I mean. You know, we got this big fight coming up at UFC 279, Shamayev versus Diaz, and I was looking at the odds today, and Shamayev's like a minus 1,400 to Nate Diaz's plus 750. You know, I mean, so that sounds like it's going to be easy, and that's what would look like we saw on Saturday night when you fought Vicente, which, you know, the odds. Matter of fact, I think you went in as the underdog on that one. And you did. And here's from my man Forrest Daniels on the screen. It says, "Hey Geoff, how do it feel to know you fucked up so many parlays? Laughing my fucking ass off. You looked amazing on Saturday. Best performance of your career."
Hey, thank you, dude. Honestly, whenever I made my post, I was gonna like hashtag fuck your parlay. It's so great because I look at the comments and everybody was just like writing me off as like just gonna get KO'd in the first round. I was like, okay, we'll see.
Yep, I picked you to win. I had a feeling in my gut. Like I said, I didn't expect it to be that easy though. Like it was almost mind blowing that it looked so easy, and you knocked him out, dude. And nobody's been able to even come close to doing that to Luke. Is that a little more like of a cherry on top for you?
Yeah, for sure. You know, but I'm not gonna like. I was a bad matchup for Luke. You know what I mean? Like, cause he likes to push forward. He doesn't move his head too much, and I'm a southpaw, you know what I mean? And my strongest punch is my left hand, and his head is literally right in front of me every time I throw my punches. So it was a bad matchup. You know what I mean? His next fight, he's probably going to knock somebody else out, but just not me.
Well, no, it won't be you again. I don't think we'll see that matchup again unless he rattles off 8 or 10 and you rattle off 8 or 10, and there's just nobody else left except to do that dance again. And hopefully, if after 8 or 10 more wins, you know, one of you is a champion. You know what I'm saying? So at least it's really worth the glory. You said in your post fight, if I remember correctly, and there was a lot going on tonight. Actually, before I even say that, how cool does it feel to be part of a fucking 10 fight card, 10 finishes?
That's pretty cool. Like, I didn't even realize that because I didn't watch every fight. I was in the back training. But right after Jamal got done finishing, Thiago, one of the interviewers, like, brought it up to me. So that's pretty awesome. I feel like everybody should got a bonus.
I put a post up about that because, you know, at UFC London earlier this year, not the last London card, the first London card this year, they had 12 fights, 9 finishes, and all 9 finishers got a bonus. Yeah. Now, granted, it was in the O2 in London. They generated a lot of revenue for that.
Yeah.
But on the same note, you know, and, you know, I'm not saying this to be an ass or to be a jerk or to be disrespectful to the UFC, but God damn, they make enough money where they could have fucking ponied up, even though they had an Apex crowd, they still could have ponied up and busted off everybody 50 grand and nobody would have missed it. I think just for being a part of a card that 10 fight, 10 finishes, 7 wins by KO or TKO. We had 3 finishes fucking by submission, including the first ever female to win by Von Fluchoke. That girl didn't even get a bonus.
I mean, I got my bonus, so
I know you did.
I don't care. No, I do care. It is what it is.
No, I know you care. In an instant like that, you got to put bonus on everybody, even if it's only 25. You got, and you know, I know the UFC does sometimes send what Anthony Pettis referred to as mailbox money, where you just get a FedEx or you get a direct link to your bank account, because I'm guessing that's how it's all done by wire rather than sending checks. So you might get a pop in your bank account. But man, if I'm the UFC, I would have just said everybody gets a bonus. You know, you get a bonus, everybody gets a bonus, man. Because that's history making. 10 fights, 10 finishes, bro.
Yeah, I get it though, because you can't do that all the time, because then people are going to expect that all the time. Like, oh, all these finishes, why don't we get a bonus? You know what I mean? Like, same reason why everybody expected a bonus off of this one. Like, and it's the Apex card, so I don't know if it has anything to do with like the revenue that they're bringing in. Like, they didn't have the bonus money for it, maybe, you know?
Well, they got the money for it, bro.
I know.
You know they do. I know you don't have to say it. I'll say it for you. That way you don't get in trouble. But we know they got the money for it. I mean, anybody who thinks they don't is foolish. And I understand the whole, well, that's not, a $8 million ticket sale revenue generator because they only have X amount of seats in the Apex, and they probably give most of the way anyway for those fight nights. So, but it was fucking awesome. It's actually not the second time in UFC history. I believe it's the 10th time, but it's the second time in the modern era. Is what that was about. So, so anyway, in your post fight, I believe the name you mentioned was Gilbert Burns, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
Did you have that pre-planned in your head that Gilbert was going to be the name you said? Because it makes sense.
I mean, I didn't. My coach actually did. My coach was like, "Hey, call Gilbert Burns," and I was like, "Okay, I guess that's who I'm calling out." But once he told me about it, like it made sense after that because I was only focused on Luque. You know what I mean?
Right.
I wasn't worried about what was next. But that's what makes sense. You know what I mean? I beat number 6, and who else is in front that's going to fight me? You know what I mean? But he's trying to fight Jorge Masvidal, which is probably going to take like a year or two for that to happen because Jorge is dealing with legal issues and whatever the fuck he's doing. But
right,
it's like, why wait for Jorge? And I'm ready to fight right now. We can fight before the end of the year, and you can fight Jorge later if you beat me. But not going to happen.
And you've already beat Bilal Muhammad, who's ahead of you at 5.
Exactly.
Stephen Thompson. Right now, you're ranked at number 8 until the rankings come out. Unless that's the current ranking.
No, that's the new rankings. I was 13. I moved to 8.
So you're at 8. So you're a few spots behind. Now you do have a loss to Stephen Thompson. If the Burns fight doesn't come to fruition right away, would you be interested in rematching with Stephen Thompson and getting that back since he's still? Let me look at this again because I'm pretty sure he's still ranked ahead of you at one spot. Let me see what we got here. So. He's ranked. He right now, the UFC official rankings has Colby, Leon, Shamayev, Gilbert Burns, Bilal Muhammad, Stephen Thompson, Sean Brady, and then you.
Yeah.
You moved up 5 spots. Brady moved up 2 spots. Stephen Thompson moved up 1 spot. I don't know how you move up when you didn't fight, but that Luque is down at number 9, 3 spots below you. Masvidal is down 1 spot. Rakhmonov. That's an interesting name. Another undefeated kid in the rankings. What do you think of these two guys, Shamayev and Rakhmonov? 2 young, studs, fucking coming in undefeated.
I think they're good. They're solid. Shavkat. I don't know how to say his last name, but
Rakhmonov.
He called me out after I called out Gilbert. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he tried to jump in, which kind of pissed me off. And then now, like, all his whole country keeps on like commenting on my shit with the little blue flag, and it's getting kind of annoying. But it really is. Like, every time I pull up my Instagram, I'm seeing like blue flags on my notifications. But he called me out. But I called out Gilbert. You know what I mean? Let's see what's up with Gilbert. Like, don't try to, it's annoying, but I'll fight him if it comes down to it. And Shamayev, I'm going to stay ready just in case Nate Diaz falls out. And I'll step in for that fight.
Yeah, but what about the Wonderboy fight? Is that something you would take if nothing else came up? Because you want to get that one back, don't you? At some point.
I mean,
or do you not give a shit?
I don't give a shit. Like, about the loss. Like, I mean, I lost. You know what I mean? But it didn't affect me at all. Like, you know what I mean? I probably needed to lose just to reassess my like career. I wasn't ready to be in the top 10 at that point, and he made me realize that. But if it comes, it comes. Stylistically, he's the worst matchup for me, and I don't feel like wrestling. So I'll try to avoid that as much as I can. But if it comes down to it, I'll do it. I'm just going to wrestle the fuck out of his ass. But
so it's funny because you said that your original game plan for Luque was you were going to wrestle him.
Mm-hmm.
And then you just realized that your footwork was there, your boxing was there, he wasn't ready for it, so you just got to stay on your feet and pepper him up all night. But with Thompson, he's he's just a fucked up matchup for everybody. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, it's so hard to fight him. I mean, look at, you know, the 2 fights he had with Tyron Woodley, you know, a few years back, you know, he just makes it so difficult for you to implement any kind of your game plan. Even if you're a phenomenal striker, he cripples guys. Now, is he the most powerful guy? No. Is he the best submission guy? No. But his karate style of fighting is still one of the most baffling I see in the welterweight division, and it gives everybody a problem. Doesn't matter who you are. You know, you, like I said, you know, he gave you problems. He gave the champ Woodley problems. He gives everybody a problem, man. Do you see any way that we could fucking fix that? Because I want to see somebody give him a fucking crazy fight.
I mean, oblique, hit his ass in his obliques and bend his knee. Like, that's the only way. Like, I don't know. He's just tough. I literally, when we fought, like, he was doing things and I was sitting there in like amazement. He punched me, he moved, he punched me again. And I looked at him, I smiled. I was like, wow, that was awesome. Like, mid fight, like, what the fuck? Yeah, that dude's good.
You know, that's, you know, I hear stories like that from different fighters, you know, like Nico Price told a story. Wasn't it with you where you guys both hit each other at the same
Headbutt.
time?
We hit each other at the same time, then we did a headbutt.
Yeah, he said that was one of the fucking funnest moments he's ever had in his fight career. Like, you both did the exact same thing. You caught each other at the same time, then the headbutt. And you guys both, you know, he said he laughed about it. I don't remember if he said you laughed. I don't remember if you said you laughed about it. But there's little moments in the fights that, you know, we don't always see and we're not always privy to. So that little tidbit you just shared about Thompson hitting you here and then he's over here, you know, it's like, reminds you of fucking Chris Tucker. Who kicked me?
Bro, that's what it felt like.
What the hell movie was that? Rush Hour. Who kicked me? That's awesome, man. So, what's your thoughts on the current state of the division right now? We've got Edwards and Usman fighting for Usman's title. This is a rematch. Usman won the first time. Obviously, he's gotten a lot better. How do you see this fight going from where you're sitting?
I'm pulling for Usman. I think Usman's gonna win. I just haven't seen enough full fights from Leon for me to say that he has something to beat Usman. You know what I mean? Like, Usman's striking is getting better and better, and his wrestling is going to make his striking that much better. You know what I mean? So he's going to be able to strike more just because Leon's going to be worried about Usman just like grabbing him and then controlling the fight there. So I'm leaning towards Usman right now, heavily.
Yeah. What about Shamayev and Diaz? What do you think of that fight?
I'm rooting for Diaz, but I don't see any way.
Yeah,
I'm rooting for Diaz. Yeah,
I'm rooting for Shamayev. I love Shamayev. I love his fucking personality. I love his style. You know, and I'm not one of those guys that jumps on the bandwagon of a guy that, you know, came in and had a couple of big wins right off the bat. But there's something about this guy that I like. I can't explain it. I just like the guy. Fucking, you know, I fucking want to see him fucking roll up, you know, and he's had a quick rise up the rankings, you know, like Darren Till did.
Yeah, Darren Till did too. I don't know. I don't like him because he's an op. So fuck him. But you're a good judge of character, so he probably is a good dude. I still want to beat him up.
Oh no, listen, I fucking, you know, I want to see you go in there and get that fight too. He's a big name, you know, he's fucking gonna, you know, add money to your bank account. So why not, you know, look at a guy like that and say, I want to fight him. What, you know, and you know, I was glad to see that he got the win against Burns. And I'm also glad to see that he got tested. Yeah. Because before you get to, you know, it's very rare that you go uncontested all the way to the top. It's not normal. So I feel it's just vital that you get that tough fight or possibly two before you get to that top spot where you're fighting for a belt. So tough fights are necessary for you. What was the toughest fight? Was it Wonderboy?
Yeah, it was Wonderboy for sure. Like I felt like I couldn't do anything. You know what I mean?
Isn't that
just
crazy?
Like he just bouncing around, just stinging me in my face. Like it was, and for 5 rounds too.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's just crazy because, you know, the mindset for you going into that fight has got to be, you know, I am a high-level elite UFC fighter. I belong here. I've earned my spot. And then you go in there and you fight this guy that completely shuts you down. It's not like he, you know, knocked you out or anything. You went 5 rounds with them. You danced for 5 rounds, and you couldn't implement anything you really wanted to do.
No.
It's fucking got like. I'd leave the octagon after that fight. I'd walk out. I'd be like kicking garbage cans. I'm going, I'm fucking better than that. I'd be knocking shit over. I'd have like a Conor McGregor meltdown.
Yeah, I mean, I did kick a couple things. Like I was highly upset, but I just wasn't ready for that one right then. You know what I mean? Like health wise, mentally, like I didn't have any of my coaches. All my coaches got COVID except for one. You know, so it was just a bad week leading up to that. So,
but it happened.
Running
right?
back, I feel like it'll be different. What's up?
It's part of the game, right?
It is. Yeah.
You can't let losses haunt you or hold you back, because you'll never move forward, and then you're stuck. And then why do it anymore? You know. Straight up. So, what's the biggest fight you're looking forward to in the UFC coming up? Is there any particular matchup? You know, any weight class, male, female, anything that you're looking forward to?
The Izzy fight, Izzy versus the old dude that knocked him out back in Glory.
Alex Pereira.
Yeah.
Do you think Pereira can win this fight? Do you think he's already in Izzy's head?
I just know that Izzy's going to fight this motherfucker. You know what I mean? I'm excited to see Izzy actually fight, because his last fights he's just been like taking it easy.
Yeah.
I feel like he has something to prove, and I feel like he's going to beat Pereira. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like Izzy's on a different level right now, but we'll see.
You know, there was a point where every time Izzy fought, I fucking picked against him, right? And then I was like, all right, I can't pick against this guy anymore. He's proven to me that he's, you know, this guy. So I've been picking him to win fights. But I think I'm going to go back and I'm going to pick against him on this one. I saw a little clip that ESPN put up on their social media of Izzy talking about it. He goes, look, you know, all these other guys are different. He's a kickboxer, so I'm expecting a good kickboxing fight. You know, and he's beat me twice. Now, in that moment where he said he'd beat me twice, it almost sounded like it was in his head. Like, you know, he was voicing that feeling. And, you know, we're not that far away from this fight. Now, if we see the Izzy that impressed us to get to the title, it's going to be a bad night for Pereira, I think. But if Izzy holds on to any of that, you know, 2 losses thing, we're going to see a new champion, I believe. And Pereira's confident as hell, and he knows going in, he's won this fight twice already. So, but it's crazy. I think Izzy is the more skilled MMA fighter overall. But Pereira's come on like a beast, and he's done everything he said he was going to do. So, it's an exciting matchup.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. Like that's a valid point. Still room for Izzy, because I hope Izzy throws in a couple takedowns and makes it an MMA fight. Fuck kickboxing. We're not kickboxing right now. You know what I mean? Like, take him down, clinch him, do something. Just put him somewhere where he's uncomfortable. Break his left hand so he doesn't throw that hook. Like,
that hook is nasty.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. So let me ask you this too. You fought Mike Perry before. Mike Perry's moved on. He's become a big name over at Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. He has one fight against Julian Lane, but he was a star in the UFC. He's going to be a star wherever he goes. He's got something about him that people love. You know, I love him to death. But he's taking on Michael Venom Page in a bare knuckle fight in 2 weeks in London, England. First of all, did you know about this? And second of all, do you have any thoughts on this? Because this is a pretty cool matchup that came out of left field. This is a fight that, you know, none of us asked for, but we're all excited to see.
Yeah, I mean, I knew about it. I just don't know how that's going to go. Like, because I don't know how big the ring is. Like, you know what I mean, in comparison to like an MMA cage.
It's probably as big as the octagon, the 30-foot octagon, or something like that, close.
And it's just straight hands, no kicks, nothing like that, right?
You can work in the clinch, though. You can hold in the clinch, and as long as you're fighting, I can, pull a Muay Thai plum on your head, and I can beat the fuck out of you in there, and the ref will not stop me.
I mean, it's just as long as Mike keeps, because MVP he's really good with his range and how his footwork, and he throws you off right before he hits you. Like, he just kind of like makes you freeze up, and then sticks you with the longest straight I've ever seen in my life. So and Mike doesn't have good head movement, so it's going to be right there for it. I mean, who knows? I think MVP takes that, to be real.
Is it something you would watch?
Yeah, I'm gonna watch that.
Oh, fuck yeah, that's what I'm talking about, bro. So I don't know if I ever asked you this, but if your UFC career, ends one day, and you're still healthy enough to go, would you ever do the bare knuckle thing?
Oh man.
And for
I
anybody
might.
from the UFC that's watching, just understand we're not trying to steal him. We're not tampering. We're just asking him a simple question, his thoughts on maybe trying something one day. Don't yell at Geoff.
I might, but I plan on making the amount of money that I want to make in life from the UFC, so I don't have to go to the bare knuckle fighting. You know what I mean? But
Well, I'm not talking about a have to. I'm talking about a want to. Yeah.
oh no, there's no want to. I don't want. That's like hell no. That's come on. Like I fight, and I'm not scared to fight, but just like bare knuckles, just cut my face up, blood everywhere. I'm good on that.
Well, that's only if you get hit.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, we saw you fight the other night. You know, you're still pretty.
Yeah, I barely got hit.
Barely got hit. Didn't even get your hair messed up. You know what I mean? Fucking you.
No, the hair was rough.
Well, listen, my friend, I'm glad to see you in such a happy space in life. You know, both mentally and, professionally in your career. It's good to see. I feel this different level of confidence and excitement about your future than in other times when we've chatted. So it's good, man. You got that big win against Vicente Luque, UFC Vegas 59, part of a 10-fight card that all fights went to finish. Geoff got his bonus.
Yes. Sorry for y'all.
Well, listen, man, before I let you go, is there anybody you want to shout out? Coaches, sponsors, teammates,
Just shout out to the team of Fortis MMA. We've been doing good things. Like I think our last 4 or 5 fighters, we were all like underdogs in the fights and fighting like top gyms. You know what I mean? And we beat them all. Finished them. So that says a lot about our gym. I feel like we're gonna have 2 champions by the end of it, and I'm gonna be one of them. So
amen.
Shout out to the squad.
Well, listen, man. I appreciate you taking the time. I know it's been a busy week for you with interviews. I know you were on Hawani and you talked to James Lynch. Everybody wants to talk to you. I'll always want to talk to you, whether you win or lose. So, always keep that in mind because, I'm still, I still haven't had a sitting UFC champion come on the show. I'm trying to get Carla Esparza because we got some history, but she just got married and she just won the belt, and I'm going to give her a little more time, and then I'm going to start harassing her because I got to get a sitting champion. Usman was supposed to come on a couple of times, and he shined me hard. So, nah.
If they don't come, if Esparza don't come through, I got you in about a year. I'll take the belt for Usman since you want to be disrespectful.
And you know what the thing is? I know you'll do it too because that's the kind of guy you are. So,
yes,
well, listen, I hope you have a blessed rest of your day, man. It's cool to see too that you're still doing the waiter thing just to kind of, occupy some time, because I guess, training all the time and everything. It's probably good to go do that, make a little extra side money and take a break from the fighting career. So, it's probably fun to do. I never even thought about it, but it's probably therapeutic.
No, exactly. That's really what it is. Like therapeutic is just take a break from I don't want to be a fighter all the time. I just want to be a normal person, and that's what I feel like when I serve.
Well, that's good, man. I'm glad you still do it, man. You still enjoy it. So, and that's like, spare pocket change.
Yeah.
That's to do dumb shit with.
Tequila money.
I love it, man. Well, listen, Geoff, thank you so much for taking the time. Congratulations on the big win. As always, the folks here at Cage Side with Christopher James, basically the folks are me. But we're always in your corner, man. You're one of our favorite guys to talk to. You always show us respect and take the time to do a show, that's not as big as some of the other ones. So we appreciate that very much.
Hey, it's no problem at all, man. I appreciate it. After I beat somebody up next time, hit me up, please.
I definitely will, man. You be good, man. And when you get that next fight book and let us know, man, we'll bring you on to talk about that shit too.
Yeah, okay, for sure, man.
All right, man. Be well, Geoff. Thank you so much.
You too.
Boys and girls, that was Geoff Neal, Handz of Steel, man, friend of the show. Always like to talk to that guy. He's always fun. He's always cool. Like I said, he doesn't have to be doing my show. My show is definitely not the biggest one in the world, but we like to have fun. Treat our athletes with respect, and hopefully they like to come back. And Geoff Neal, you heard him just say, when he beats somebody else up, call him back, and we will. So, boys and girls, that's the show for tonight. Next week, I will be taking the week off. We'll be back in 2, and then I'll let you guys know my guest in 2 weeks away. So until next time, boys and girls, thank you so much for allowing me to be a part of your lives today and for you guys being a part of mine. It means the world to me right here in my heart. But we are going to dip on out of here. I got things to do. Don't forget, we got some fights this weekend. Contender Series started 5 minutes ago. Go watch Bo Nickel take on the MMA world and blow it the fuck up. Until next time, I am Christopher James, and boys and girls, you have been Cage Side. Good night, everybody.
What happens if you lose, Nick?
Who the hell is Aquaman?
I get Fruity Pebbles, Cocoa Pebbles, I get sausage biscuits. Maybe you guys will see a little footage of that later on because we got some good stuff.
So it produces. There you go, baby.